Hello everybody, my name is Christian, and today we are going to be talking about a bit of a different topic. We're going to be talking about me. Well, kinda. Alright, so today we are going to be talking about the pulls that I most regret in Honkai Star Rail. This is a video I have done before, I think it was like 6 months ago or so, but there's always going to be new people coming around. There's always going to be new characters that I probably did not actually enjoy getting, or I don't enjoy having them now, or maybe I didn't want them at any point, because hey, we always got one of those. I can't wait to tell that story again. So, it's always just an interesting topic to me, and I would like to share it once again with you all. So besides just going over the characters that I regret pulling, I'm going to give you the exact rationale as to why I regret pulling them, and I will be talking about their overall value, since a pull that I might regret might be better or even worse for other people. With that said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, join our Discord down below, and let's get into the video. I saw one person basically comment and say, why do you start every video with a Kalaya? So I decided to mix it up a little bit. So the very first character I am going to talk about that I regret pulling, oh, there are so many options. Jing Liu. Oh man. So, at this point, I believe the Nova Flare tier list with Waveman is already out, and I talked extensively in that video about I really liked Jing Liu's Nova Flare at the time. I thought it was going to be really cool. I thought it was going to help her out a bunch. I was super excited. All of that is now not true, even in the slightest. There's something to be said about kind of my knowledge and how I've progressed in becoming more of a meta-oriented creator, because I do kind of understand how many still glaring issues there were with this kit. Oh man. I was also excited about the kit without owning Hyacinth, which that was unbelievable on my part. Like, I should have known that this character would still be getting no use on my frickin' account. So I first pulled Jing Liu all the way back when she initially came out. That was in version 1.3, 1.4, I believe. During that version where she came out, I had basically just started playing the game consistently. I marathoned all of Belobog within probably 3 days or something like that. I had a bunch of pulls, over 180 or something like that, and I had just pulled for Seela beforehand. We will be talking about her soon. I had just pulled for Seela because I heard that she was a super powerful character, she was unbelievably good, and I'm like, oh man, as a new player, that sounds great, I should try and get in on that. This is why I tell people, no matter if you're coming to a meta-oriented channel or not, you should pull for what you want to pull for initially. Pull for what you like and then worry about improving it and making it good. Because I had no investment in Seela, like as a character really, so I never invested in her further, I never used her, and it was just a miserable idea on my part. So make sure you actually get who you like, basically. Anyway, back to Jing Liu. I pulled Jing Liu afterward because Seela's rerun was beforehand and then Jing Liu was out. I basically just kind of kept pulling. I kept pulling and pulling because I didn't understand a pull economy. I just thought, hey, this character's kind of cute. Let me just hit the button a few times. So I kept passively pulling on Jing Liu's banner until eventually one day she dropped. So from there on, I didn't use her for a while because I was like, I got the Goat Yan Xing on the account. What else do I need? God, I was so bad at this game. Anyway. So now I have Jing Liu on my account, and I was trying to figure out what to do with her after I realized, hey, she might be kind of what I need if I want to start getting into, endgamer a little bit. Or even, I was just trying to finish the actual Forgotten Hall levels, not Memory of Chaos, just Forgotten Hall levels. I was trying to get through those, and I wasn't really able to do it, so I thought Jing Liu might be the solution. So I build her up, and I use her for a little bit for that, and yeah. Beyond clearing Forgotten Hall levels, I never really used Jing Liu again. Like, at all. So, in total, Jing Liu got roughly, I don't even know, probably less than 10 hours of usage on my account. I never really bothered to use her in MOC unless it was just doing levels that I had already done and I wanted to try her instead. I never really invested more in her teams because she never really got dedicated supports, if we're being honest. And then she got her Nova Flare. Her Nova Flare, I don't really think it helped her out as much as many of us probably wanted it to. Not to mention, you needed Hyacinth. She was the most designed with Shill in mind. She needed Hyacinth to accomplish what she wanted to accomplish. And that just, you know, if you didn't have the character, that wasn't feasible, and I didn't at the time. Overall, this character has just been consistently a nothing on my account. Really, I could have just saved, obviously, but I wasn't familiar with that concept. I didn't understand these games at all. So I could have done that, but I didn't. But then also, I ended up just getting different units later on that I, A, liked more, and B, they were also just more effective, and they got actual support, or they were characters who had supports that were already existing in the game, which was way better than what Jingliu had, because newer supports were just automatically better. Newer supports and characters, DPSs, all that, they were all automatically better than what Jingliu was capable of outputting. It is really unfortunate how this has ended up, but yeah, Jingliu is just such a brutal character to use nowadays. It's not even funny. Jingliu's scalability compared to somebody like Blade is significantly lower in my opinion. Her E1 is kind of comparable to Blade, but I think Blade's is better. I think Blade has more potential to go higher than she does. Not to mention, you can actually get Blade from losing 50/50s to make him even better over time. Get his E2, get his E4. His E6 lowers his charge requirement, so you get more overall damage. Jingliu does not have that same privilege. She is just in a much worse spot overall, while also being, if we're going band for band here, E0S1, E0S1 with ideal teams, I'm not gonna lie, I still think Blade can probably do better. It does depend a little on scenario, but I do think Blade is going to do better overall. And that just means that Jingliu has been left out to dry completely. It's super unfortunate, and that does reflect her overall value in the game. I do not think there is a single reason to pull Jingliu. She is not a competitive damage dealer. You will need to specifically pull her to get any sort of reasonable upgrades. You will need to pull specific characters to get any sort of reasonable upgrades. You can't just, like, get tokens. You can't just lose 50/50s. Like, you need to get very, very specific things to make her good. And there is a pretty easy to hit cap on what she can actually do compared to any other HP scaler in the game, even including somebody like Mighty, who gets shit on consistently by the community. It is very sad. But yeah, the overall value of Jingliu right now, absolutely miserable, to the point that, I'm going to be honest, she could use an entire new Nova Flare to try and actually make her relevant in any way, shape, or form. Or at the very least, throw her in the 50/50 loss pool, so at least you have a chance to improve her passively over time, which will encourage people to actually try and build her, actually try and use her. Because that incentive right now is at zero. Literally zero. I still love Amelie, though. I'm so sorry you have to voice a character that's really cool in story, but just very bad gameplay-wise. Alright, next character. I had already talked about her during the Jingliu section. We are going to jump over to Seela. So, okay, also I want to say this. I know it's pronounced like Zila, but I just say Seela now. I don't care anymore, man. I just don't care anymore. It's been too many years of making these videos. So Seela, this was the first 5-star I had ever properly pulled for. I had just completed Belobog, and I decided to go for it. I saw her banner. I heard she was good. I went for it. I lost the fucking 50/50. I got Welt. That was honestly not even a bad loss, because I just really love Welt. But then I did get Seela with the rest of my pulls afterward. I truly wish, just to the bottom of my heart, that I understood gacha games better, and I understood Honkai Star Rail better when I had started, because this character really was just not that good at the time that I got her, or at least I did not have the tools to make her good, because I did not have Bronya. I didn't really have anything that she wanted, and I didn't understand why she was good. I had no idea why she was good. I just heard that she was good. I figured she must just be really powerful. I thought that the buttons would be easy. I thought that the skill ceiling in these games wouldn't be that high. No, none of that is true for Seela. Absolutely none of that is true for Seela. This character is easily one of the most, if not the most, complicated character in the entire game, with a skill ceiling that is higher than every other character in the game. She is unbelievable in what she is capable of. Even back then, she was still unbelievably incredible at the highest levels of play. That is not something that me as a beginner would truly be capable of taking advantage of or understanding. Pulling for her just because I heard that she was good, that was a very big mistake on my part that I still regret to this day. I have legitimately gotten no use out of Seele besides grinding Calyxes. That is the only use I have ever gotten out of Seele. That is depressing. A 5-star character, one of the better characters in the game during those early updates. The only use I ever got out of her was grinding Calyxes. That is rough. Now, we can look at her current value. Her current value is honestly pretty damn good. With her new Nova Flare, she is now a very competitive DPS in both MOC, Pure Fiction, and Apocalyptic Shadow. She can also clear night stages. I'm not sure if anybody's cleared King with her yet. I don't think so, but at this point, it's 100% possible, and that's terrifying. Seele in her current state is genuinely a very good character. Now, while I still wouldn't say everybody should try and lose to her just because the playstyle can be very complicated to make full use of, she is still very, very good, and she can help you out a lot if you have the certain pieces that she needs on your account. So we're looking at a Sparkle, a Ceridra, everybody has RMC, or if you have Ash Veil, they can pair extremely well together for Pure Fiction. And that means that her overall value, it could definitely be worse. I wouldn't say that this is a character I would go out of my way to pull right now, because if you're comparing getting Seele for Pure Fiction to getting Ash Veil for Pure Fiction, yeah, I'm gonna say get Ash Veil just because I think he works just as well in just as many scenarios. However, Seele, if you are going to lose your 50-50s, her E1 all the way up to her E6 can actually be substantially helpful for her. Her E6 offers a massive damage boost. Her E1, pretty solid overall as a damage boost, and then her E2 gives you speed boosts, which can help with her signature light cone. This character, honestly, not in a bad spot right now at all. It's just a bad spot for me personally. I've never been able to get that value out of her that I know many other players can and have, so that's just unfortunate. I don't have the pieces to take advantage of her right now either, if we're being honest. I just have Sparkle, which is still good, but yeah. Sorry, Seele. Just even in the patches where you're winning, you're still not winning for me. The next character we are going to be talking about is none other than Saber. I think most of you can pretty immediately tell why this is on the regret list. She doesn't even have a fucking light cone equipped. Saber is a character that I was genuinely really excited about when they were being announced. I didn't really much care about Archer, but also I just don't care about Fate in general, so I saw a woman with comically large sword at points, and I'm like, oh, that's sick, I like that archetype. Get me in there, son. So I pulled for her. I was really excited to grab her. Ultimately, very poor choice on my behalf. I ended up winning the 50-50, which is very, very good, because if I lost that, I would have cried, I think, because that would have been so many more pulls when I knew Hysilens was coming out. I ended up getting her. I tried using her for a little bit. I honestly did get a little bit of use out of Saber. I managed to use her in Pure Fiction once or twice. I managed to do MOC with her, and most famously, I managed to beat Kevin in PvP with my Saber team. So Saber has actually done a few different things for me and my account, which I was really happy about. But without her light cone, she's really not all that. Without any of her powerful Eidolons, she is really not all that. And most importantly, she has received absolutely no support from when she initially came out. Her best team is almost exactly the same for most players, unless you are somebody who runs Cyrene with E2, so that you can get the instant ultimate, because that is a pretty nice boost. Otherwise, you have Sunday, you have Tribby, Tingyun, then DHPT to run with Sunday, so you get the extra damage boost. Yeah, that's really about it. She's not received any support since she has come out. She's in the same state as she once was, while all the content around her has continuously gotten harder. It is the exact same situation as the Herda. These two characters just got absolutely nothing after a certain point, and now they have stagnated significantly while all of the other content in the game has continued to grow harder. Other characters have received new support, received Nova Flares, all that good stuff. Saber has not gotten any of that, and it was hard to know that when she was coming out, that she was not going to receive anything, and then that Archer would. But either way, that definitely makes for a pretty regretful pull, because she already wasn't super high value on my account, and now compared to everything else that I have, or everything else that I've used, she is definitely much, much, much further down the totem pole than I was really hoping that she would be. Now, in terms of the overall value, I think I've once again made it very clear. Pulling Saber is basically the same thing as pulling for the Herta right now. You get an okay unit that can be decent with pretty substantial levels of investment, but for the most part, your investment would be spent much better elsewhere. Like, if you were going to get an E1 S1 Saber with maybe E1 Tribby, E0 S1 Sunday, or maybe you get an E2 Cyrene in there, at that point, you could just pull the entire Mono Elation team all E0 S1, and you would receive much, much higher value than what Saber can offer you. It's unfortunate. I really hope that we get some sort of Saber support in the future, just to improve her a little bit, because I really do think she could do with that right now. Especially, once again, WoW Archer is so much better, good for him, and that's heavily linked to Sparkle, obviously, getting a massive buff. So I hope there's something in there that can help improve Saber in the near future, but I'm not really holding out hope for that, sadly. So, the next character we are going to talk about is one of my older pulls yet again. It is going to be Silverwolf. Now, Silverwolf, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I tell this story every single time she comes up on my account. I never intended to get Silverwolf. So the story was, I was still a new player when Silverwolf got her first rerun. I believe this was in version 1.5, and I had just gotten a guarantee, so I was basically just sitting, waiting, because Daron May, who was coming out, and I really loved Daron May, I was super excited to grab her. Silverwolf was coming back on the same banner as the new 4-star, Hanya. I am somebody who really enjoyed getting the 4 stars in at least some capacity. I always really like just having all the characters if I can, or at least the easily acquirable characters, which, yes, that applies to 4 stars, obviously. So I saw Hanya was on the same banner, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's a 4-star. Surely it won't be that hard to get her. So I did a few pulls, didn't really get her, and then me, in my oh-so-infinite wisdom, decided to keep pulling, because I said to myself, it won't take that long to get the 4-star. So I kept pulling, and pulling. It got to the point where I was at 60-ish pity, and I go, okay, I think I need to stop. And my roommate says, nah, what's one more? I go, you know what? Yeah, okay. I pull, I see the flash, I go, fuck, and Silverwolf appears on the screen. I think that she is a pretty solid character. She doesn't have as much of a role right now, mainly because there are not a lot of teams that need specifically debuffers, and also there are new debuffers coming out constantly, so her role kind of got shifted around a lot. She is still a very good character with very strong Eidolons as well, like impressively strong Eidolons. I think Silverwolf is decent value, but probably not compared to the specific support that you could get for whatever team that you're running. So if you're working with like a Phynon, obviously you're always going to want a Ceridra over anything else. If you're working with an Archer, you're going to want Sparkle over anything else. With Mono Rem, shocker, you're going to want Mono Rem. Silverwolf, good character, pretty decent kit. Value is just kinda right now, unless you're playing a slightly off-meta team, or you're somebody who is kind of starting up your account trying to get more pieces. If you end up losing to Silverwolf, that is very good value. That is going to help you out a lot, in my opinion. AoE ult, great defense shred in all-type res pen. She has a lot of tools at her disposal that can, in fact, support you as you go through this game. I just never really got any of that out of Silverwolf. Like, any of that at all. I tried using her with Acheron a little bit after she got buffed. Didn't really result in much, if we're being honest. I think I could have done better with that, but yeah, this character was just not really for me or my playstyle. And that's kind of just where the story ends, unfortunately. This is basically the only character in Star Rail that I do have completely on accident. I just never wanted her in the first place, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm sorry to all my Silverwolf fans out there. Now, we're coming up on the last few characters I wanted to talk about today. These last few characters are a bit more, not subjective, but basically, I'm not gonna say that I regret pulling them, but they also were not my best pulls. And it is purely to do with just me as a player, my ability and my understanding of the game when I got them. Except for this next one. Let's just quickly rip off this bandage real quick. So I have Topaz E1. Yes, I did this with Golden Companion Spirits. No, I don't really regret it at all. However, I do know that this was objectively a horrible choice to make. Even when we didn't have anything else in the shop, this was objectively a poor choice to make. I just did not care because I love Topaz. And I have had a lot of fun getting to build her, make her build actually pretty good compared to the rest of my account. I've gotten to use her in MOC 12 and clear in 5 cycles or less. I really just like Topaz. I don't regret it. It was a bad choice, and I know if I didn't comment on it, somebody would have seen her in the corner over there and wrote a comment about it. So yes, I know. Bad choice. Just getting that out there. My bad. Moving on. So now let's go over to the actual other 2 characters. I'm going to talk about them basically in the same section. We have Acheron and Fei Xiao. Now, Fei Xiao is in a much worse spot comparatively. I don't even have her goddamn signature light cone, sadly. I don't have her signature light cone. Her build is okay at best, and that's a real emphasis on the at best. And yeah, I got some of her good teammates. Like, I had Robin, I had Tribby, Donhung PT came out for free. I tried using her with Sunday, and that was a lot of fun. That worked pretty well for an APOC or 2. Overall, though, I never really properly invested in this character, and it definitely shows, very sadly. Then we have Acheron, who's in the same boat. I did not have Acheron's signature for most of the time that I was playing this game until she eventually reran. I don't know when. It was sometime in 3.x. I decided to do a single pull for her signature. I got lucky. I was super excited about it. I did actually use Acheron a few times ever since I got her signature. Do I think that her current value is anywhere near what it was? Absolutely not. This is a character you should absolutely not be pulling for in any capacity right now. With that said, this is actually still an okay character, because anytime a stronger Nihility comes out, Acheron essentially gets buffed. So Acheron got buffed when Silverwolf got buffed, Acheron got buffed when Cypher came out, and Acheron will likely get buffed when Mortonek's Blade comes out, because there's no way in hell they are making that man a super break support. While I do like Acheron a lot, I never invested in Jiao Cho for her. Again, I didn't have her light cone. I was running Dotcharon for the longest time, so Acheron with Kafka Black Swan. It was a lot of fun. It got me further into the game and made me love the game a lot more. Is it something that I would recommend to players everywhere? Dear God, no, not on my life. Like, I would be lying through my fucking teeth if I told you that that was a good choice. It is obviously not, and I know that now, and I hope you guys are proud of me for that I do know that now. Both of these characters came from when I was first starting to enter my more serious phase of HSR. I was starting to get more invested in the story. I was starting to understand the gameplay and just all the mechanics a bit better. So I pulled these 2 knowing that they would be strong, and I could understand a little bit more of why they were strong. I had still failed to understand the power of investment, of proper planning, all that good stuff. So ultimately, I really did not get the necessary value that I wanted out of Acheron or Fei Xiao. I used them both for a pretty substantial amount of the game. I really love them, and I think that they are unbelievably fun characters, and they can still kind of work nowadays, depending on if you have really invested into them. But overall, yeah, these pulls were questionable at best, looking back, especially since I could have just gotten one of them and been able to invest in them a lot more, and it would have gone substantially better for me. Or I could have just kept saving, because Lord knows I wasn't even close to clearing endgame content at that point anyway, so what did it matter? Pulling for your favorites. What a trap if you're trying to actually clear content. Fuck me, man. This is why I just pay money now. It's honestly not that bad. Tax write-offs, hell yeah, bro. All right, anyway, let's wrap this video up. And that wraps up my most regretted pulls in HSR. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I've got plenty more good ones coming out soon, so I will see you guys then. Bye-bye.